Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Unitrader. We're just going to do a quick Bitcoin update here for all of you maxis out there, just so you can keep it a little bit safer. All right. I just want everybody to understand a couple of quick things here. All right. Number one is, we're obviously in a pretty nice downtrend here. We have come into pretty decent support here. But it is very important to remember that we're just breaking into this old range here. And as such, many times when you hit into old sort of ranges, you are going to go visit the absolute low of the range. And if you think this bear market's going to end here, be careful. So as long as we're in here, we're in here. If you're going to play this zone, you want to be looking for shorts from the top and longs from the bottom and whatever other support and resistance that you can find inside this zone, whether that be, dynamic stuff or static horizontals, however you want to look at it. But it's really important to understand where you are. So we're just inside of this old range here. And we've got a lot more to chew through in this range, all the way down to 48, all right? So do we have to go there? No, it doesn't have to happen, but there is a large potential for that to happen, all right? So you want to keep that in mind. Don't be looking for the bottom just yet. We don't have any clear signs of real strength here, all right? We can look here on the half-hour chart. You can see we've just gone up to retest the top here, and now we're just sucking up some volume here. So we're in a bit of a consolidation up here, and be careful. Now this could turn around here, right? It could. I'm not saying it can't, but who knows? But in this case, just be very wary of this range, and if we break below this range, which I would imagine we do, but again, imagination and trading are not good friends. This is the kind of zone I'll be looking for. Probably higher up in this zone, around the 42-ish zone. But yeah, it might come all the way down to the 38. Who knows? Again, nothing is written in stone. All right, now the other thing I wanted to mention real quickly here, we're not going to get into a huge debate about it, but the markets all seem to be a little bit jittery, right? So it's not just Bitcoin, although Bitcoin has taken an absolute pounding. If we look at the NDQ, we've come down deep into this all-time high range that we've created here, and now we're sort of back in the middle of it. This is pretty general for a lot of things. And one real interesting thing is the VIX, all right? So our volatility index here, okay, it's a very basic volatility indicator or chart. So if we look back historically, you can see the every time the VIX gets up to these zones here, they're great shorts, great longs. All right, when the VIX is high, you buy. When the VIX is low, you go. That's the old saying. If we look back at the NDQ here, this low was November 20th. It was put in on the 21st. It swept the low, and then it started moving back up. So November 21st. Oop. And we can see here on the VIX, this is November 20th, November 21st, all right? So gets high, turns and goes. Now, you also have these sort of extreme situations here, right? But generally, this is what we want to look for the VIX. You want to see it well above 20 to consider it high, all right? And right now we're pretty low. All right, we're pretty low. So although even into this low here, it didn't really get that high, right? So not great reasons to look to buy. So in terms of the VIX, nothing is saying we're about to rip to the upside anymore here, but we also haven't had huge down moves on anything except for some stocks, obviously, and then crypto. So again, if we look at things like this is that the April low. All right, the April low was put in on the 7th of April. And on the VIX here, that's where you, oops, pardon me, that's where you have that huge spike up, April 7th. All right. So these are sort of like those capitulatory moves here, right? So we might be wanting to wait for some sort of event like that for the VIX to really, really get up there, to be a little more confident that the markets in general are going to turn around. And then we want to see how Bitcoin's going to act according to that, all right? So if you don't use the VIX, that's fine. You don't need to use the VIX, but it's always a good little tool to just take a peek at once in a while and kind of figure out where you're going, especially if you're looking to position trade the indexes or even certain stocks, the big boys, the Magnificent Seven, that sort of stuff. The VIX is fantastic to kind of let you know when things are going to be turning around here. All right, so that's really it, okay? For Bitcoin, just stuck in this range right now. We are putting in lower lows. So, until it shows us that we're not, that's what we're doing. And that's as simple as it is, right? Follow the trend, or at least be very aware of it if you're counter trend trading. So that's it, guys. Very quick. Hope you stay safe, be well, don't believe the hype, do your own analysis, and figure out where you think things are going and when it looks good to you. What makes sense to you is what will make sense to your accounts, all right? Be safe, be well, see you on the next one.